Good morning, seventh graders. I've got my Cheyenne, Wyoming shirt on. What I want to talk to you guys really briefly this morning. Okay, I'll adjust this here. It's Monday morning. I wanted to touch base with y'all. Um, you got a busy week this week. Your open notes test is on Friday. I'm not going to do a Kahoot on Thursday. I'm going to do a YouTube test review tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock. Um, your choice. Not required. You can get on with me with office hours. The link is there, um, or not. That's your choice. I want to touch base with you on some things up to this point, guys. You got to watch that Oregon Trail video, and you got to watch my other YouTubes. I've noticed that not everybody is, and some of these answers that I'm getting have been pretty interesting. Couple of things, guys. Remember, there were two places. I'm going to go back to. There were three ways to get out here to Oregon. Number one, by land, and two other ways that involve the ocean. One, you go down about halfway around. We'll use my beard as halfway point of the Central America. About a 55-mile wide place called Panama. It was hot. It was dangerous. There were snakes that will kill you. The jungle was thick, like from me to the clock in my back in my kitchen. All right, guys, it was that thick, that dangerous. Panama's a place where it will rain for 30 minutes, and you'll get a couple, 3, 4 inches of rain. Heavy duty stuff. And there was a 55-mile long railroad. There was also a foot trail for people that were trying to get to the West Coast, trying to get to the gold fields of California that way. And it was, like I said, dangerous. They've got monkeys there, guys, with fangs like this. All right. And they will grab your hair and rip it out. Okay. You ever want to, I mean, one of the most dangerous places I've ever been. And I spent a lot of time there. All right. Anyway, guys, that's one way. The other way by sea, is to go all the way around South America to a place called Cape Horn. Cape Horn is where the seas come around. You get your currents come around up the Atlantic, come this way, start coming up this way, and then you got another current that comes this way, down around the other side of South America. They meet some of the heaviest seas in the entire world. I've never been there, but this is what I've been told. This is one of the places that, I've been fortunate not to be there. Okay. But horrible, horrible, horrible seas to get around there. If you ever get to Roslyn, yeah, you go in the brick house. The actual back front, the bar area around there, oldest continuously operated bar in the state of Washington. And guys, I don't drink alcohol, but I will go in there and get a chili burger or get whatever when I'm up there. But this thing was brought around Cape Horn. Totally cool. All right. Anyway, guys, um, other things when it comes to the Oregon Trail, guys. Remember, most people walked. Okay, there was over 30,000 people that died on this thing. Okay, so think about that. Other things that are going to be on your test, things like what did they use for fuel? There wasn't a whole lot of wood. Okay, uh, so I'm going to be asking you guys about the Oregon Trail. We're also going to be talking about the things like here, like this week. This week you're going to be learning about as we go through uh, how Washington Territory was established, and there's some pretty ugly fights. One just a little bit south of Spokane. Actually, there were two battles that were just a little bit south of Spokane um, with the Indians. Okay, you've got the Yakima War, and I'm looking over here on page 158. All right, gee, a lot of this has to do with shiny metal. You got Yakima Territory, you got Indian land, and what happens? They find gold, they find silver, something on Indian lands. So guess who gets kicked off? The Indians, right? Okay. A lot of these officers that were out there prior to the American Civil War were pretty sympathetic to the Indians, but they had a job to do. Some of them weren't. Some of them were pretty mean. We actually had a war. here on here in the Puget Sound. Okay, so pay attention. Most of your fighting though took place on the east side of the mountains. All right, and then the infamous Pig War. I love that. You guys have a couple links on the Pig War, and one of my favorite people in history during this time period was a guy by the name of George Pickett. George Pickett, ladies and gentlemen, he's famous for the Battle of Gettysburg, Pickett's Charge. All right, he was the Confederate commander that on July 3rd, 1863, was in charge of the, if you will, the leader. Okay, actually, it was Robert E. Lee that was ultimately in charge. Pickett actually told Robert E. Lee on the after his division essentially got wiped out. Um, he goes up and Lee says, and it's very eloquently portrayed in the movie Gettysburg. Um, Lee says, excuse me, General Pickett, you must look after your division. And with tears in his eyes, he goes, General Lee, I have no division. All right. This is one of those people that finished dead last in his class at West Point. He was sent out here to the Pacific Northwest. He was up here on the Canadian border for a while. Anyway, he was the American officer involved in the infamous Pig War. We were going to go to war with Great Britain on San Juan Island over a shot pig. Figure that one out. Well, fortunately, calmer heads prevailed, but I want you guys to understand that. Now, um, also this week, your test is on Friday. Um, talk about these. There really was arguments over this different straits. Okay, where is the boundary with Canada? I want to talk to you guys about. I want to talk to some of you guys about that one too. Anyway, guys, Nez Perce War, one of the great tragedies in American history, has to do with Chief Joseph and the Nez Perce. And right now, I'm looking on this map on page 164, and once again, what was found in there in this area? Uh, silver, gold. Okay, right near where Nez Perce lands are is an area known as the Silver Valley of Idaho. It's just a little bit north. Um, we kept violating treaties, and Chief Joseph started. His dad started out was a Christian. Chief Joseph was a Christian. Um, O.O. Howard, who was essentially fighting against him, didn't want to fight the Indians at all. The Nez Perce did not want to go to war with us, but we kept shrinking their land. Finally, they end up having to go to Oklahoma, of all places. Anyway, this is where like Chief Joseph and the Nez Perce they tried to escape up to um, Canada. We should have just let them go. Anyway, so I want you guys to understand those things. Idaho and so you need to learn. You're going to be learning about Idaho and Montana, how the territories were created, and I want you guys to pay close attention to the maps. Now, guys, I'm not going to. I'm going to ask you guys questions about the maps. Okay. Anyway, and then how Idaho and Washington became states, and also world famous Ezra Meeker, the only man to go back and forth twice along the Oregon Trail, and also, as it says here in 1904, all right, uh, made it all the way to D.C., where he met President Teddy Roosevelt. Ezra Meeker holds the distinction of being the only person to travel the Oregon Trail by covered wagon, train, automobile, and airplane. All right, so a couple things. Many of you guys need to pay closer attention to the video. Many of you guys need to pay close attention to actually what you're. I want some good complete sentences. I want you guys your answers, and don't quit. We still got 6 weeks left, guys. Oh, remember, guys, the our northern parallel with Canada was finally set at what? 49 degrees. James K. Polk, in his political, when he was running for president, said 54-40 or fight. 54 degrees, 40 minutes north or fight. Okay? If we had gotten that, if that were part of the United States today, think about virtually all of Vancouver, well, not virtually, all of Vancouver Island, all of essentially the useful portion, if you will, of British Columbia, we would have been ours, as well as most of Canada that is known today. So, ladies and gentlemen, I miss you, love you guys, and hope you guys are having a great day. Your test is Friday once again. Tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock. I'll have office hours. They're not required. Have a blessed day. Miss you guys. Bye bye.